As introduced, my name is Kentaro or Ken. I'm from Japan. We should know what is bonsai. Actually, bonsai consists of two words. One is bon and another one is sai. Any kind of tree can be styled as bonsai. And the main feature is like this. In nature, you can see big tree, and the scale of the human is like this size, for example. To appreciate the bonsai, as if we are like the small people looking at the big tree in nature, in full scale of nature tree. So this is how appreciate bonsai tree. That is not only the gardening activity, but beyond that, that is kind of mentally, symbol of spiritual mindset or philosophy or inner strength. Wabi-sabi. Wabi-sabi is the idea of perfection of imperfection. Everything in nature is not perfect. Not perfect condition is very natural. And impermanence, we call it shogyo mujo. And impermanence, everything in nature or even artificial objects in this world won't last forever. Originally, the art of bonsai is from China, ancient China, almost 1,500 years ago. But the name or art form is a little bit different from bonsai. The original name of bonsai in China was called penjin. And similar to bonsai, also this word consists of two words. Pen is for tray. For example, you can see the tray at the bottom instead of the pot. And jin is the scenery or landscape. So literal translation is the scenery or landscape on the tray. That is the penjin. This culture traveled to Japan more than 1,000 years ago. We exchanged a lot of culture between China and Japan for a long time. After the culture of bonsai traveled to Japan, Japanese people simplified the culture of penjin. In Japan, we have the main idea, simple is best, less is more. That is mindset of Japanese culture. Here is the brief comparison of the Chinese penjin and Japanese bonsai, focusing on the entire landscape like this, in a bigger scale and with many components. But for bonsai, we remove a lot of things and we make a lot of space to imagine ideal scenery through the bonsai. Monument, yes, monument is very possible. In Japan, bonsai only allowed to use pot, soil, and tree, and sometimes of course moss, but no object is allowed. Yeah, that is a great question. Here, this slide explains the basic types or styles of bonsai. Because bonsai usually have unique or interesting shape in the trunk or foliage. But we have some typical styles like this. The first one is chokkan, or we call it formal upright in English. And that one is very classical style. Finding more amount of the sunlight or any kind of the force of the nature will make this style. Maybe landslide or whatever. And even more stress to this side. This called moyogi. Even stronger nature force will make this interesting curved trunk. Actually, for bonsai, the soil is very special because of the size of the pot. Pot is very smaller than usual houseplants. They don't retain much moisture in this pot. Also, smaller root mass. So, with that condition, extreme drainage is essential. Is even more interesting shapes. This one is called bunjin or lucerati. This extreme simple style. Because in Japan, as I mentioned, less is more, or simple is always better. Ukinagashi or in English, wind swept. So it's very easy to understand. The wind from this side continuously and strong wind make this interesting form of the tree. As you can see, you can find this kind of style at the cliffside or higher mountain. This is also very dramatic shape. Or sometimes cliffside facing to ocean, we can find this kind of style. I will have the free discussion on Q&A section after this presentation. Everything in nature is not perfect. That condition is very natural. In contrast between life and death. Because of the harsh nature or very difficult environment to live or survive, this tree got damaged in the past, but still, thanks to the resilience of the tree, this slide like this, green sliding green, and this part like bone. Actually, this part is already dead. Here is another example of appreciation point, and also the story and scenery. That is very important. If the viewer see one specimen of bonsai, and viewer can imagine any scenery or landscape through that bonsai, that is a great bonsai. And the berry is a root spread at the bottom of the trunk. For example, this one is a good example, as if the root is growing the ground strongly. That gives high impact and good impact of the strength of the tree. These are the popular species of bonsai tree. As I said at the beginning, any kind of tree can style as bonsai. Species with thumbs up bark is easy to care, so that is good for beginners. Spikers or boxwood and Chinese elm. Those kind of material we can find the gardening center or any plant nursery. And this is a great example of the comparison of bonsai style and the common shape in daily life. This is an example of juniper bonsai, but in common shape at the backyard or parking lot, we can see juniper, usually in this shape, growing on the ground. The bonsai is a living art, so we need to take care of the trees, especially for watering. That's very depending on the season of the year. Obviously, we need to water almost every day, especially this season. Now, I water twice a day, in the morning and the evening. Tree go to sleep, I mean dormancy, so they don't need much water. Maybe every 2 weeks or so. Occasionally require to maintain the shape or change the shape, overall shape. We need to maintain the shape by using wire. Bonsai is living, so every year the root mass is getting larger and larger, a little by little. So we need to report the bonsai every 1 or 3 years. For younger tree, we need more open reporting every year. And for reporting, very time sensitive. The best timing is usually early spring. Timing is very important. Fertilizing only necessary during the growing season from spring to fall. And obviously we need some items to take care of bonsai or your trees. Watering can or the water wand, and the soil of course with good drainage. This is essential. Pot needs a big hole for good drainage too. And bonsai wire, usually aluminum or copper. Copper is more expensive. Diameter or thickness is from 1 to 6 millimeter, usually. And for cutting branches or wire or knot, we need some cutting tools, pruning scissors or something. The label as bonsai in Home Depot is really not recommended. Sorry to say that, but that is my true opinion. And here are some my collection. I started in Michigan for 3.5 years. But, I think half of them are already sold. Some of them are here. I think that is main part of my presentation. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask.
Would you tell us more about your background? Like, how did you become interested?
Great question.
You live in a castle on the mountain?
Wow.
Yes. This is actually my hometown. City name is Kawanoe. We have a mountain just behind my house, maybe less than half mile. And at the top of the mountain, we have Japanese castle. When I was a child, I played around this mountain, or I played as if I was a ninja and climbed. And it was a very good environment to learn the beauty of nature. And the trail up to the mountain, it is connected to this castle. This is lined to beautifully maintained style pine tree. So I was lucky to born or grow in this kind of environment. So this will be my first encounter to beauty of the bonsai or something like that. I started my bonsai career when I was 10 or 11.
Wow.
So now I'm almost 40, so it's quite a long time. But in any case, we need a good drainage. For example, you can see the big rain of the soil like that. That is very different from the gardening soil to achieve the great drainage. That is a great question too. We have many pines here in Michigan too, especially in 12-mile road. At the center block, we can see many pines, but the shape is quite different. Some unnecessary or too old needles or too old foliage to maintain this shape.
Well, how did you learn though? You said you
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, my case. Oh, yeah. Luckily, in my hometown, there are many bonsai nurseries I can visit, and beautiful tree, and I can ask to the master or any staff at the nursery and how to do that, and they can teach me something like that.
How many years does it take to really perfect the art?
It's a tough question. It really depends on the sense of the.
It just seems like it would take years because it takes time to get them shaped and get them to where they're looking, how they look, they're beautiful. And I just wondered how you must have an awful lot of patience.
Maybe.
Or clip over on branches.
Oh no, this branch.
Super glue that
That sometimes happens, yeah.
So is that wire to shape it the way you want it to grow? The wire.
Oh yes. Wiring is to manipulate the position of the branch or foliage, and usually after 6 months or so, the branch can remember the new position. After that, we can rewind or remove. On this table, all the bonsai juniper, but the variety is a little bit different. This one is very common juniper. This is called blue rug juniper, originally from Home Depot. This one is also juniper, but mountain juniper.
Wow.
So a little bit different. As you can see, the foliage is more dense and the smaller foliage. And this one is again blue rug juniper, and this one is another common juniper.
So Ken, did you start any of these from scratch? Like
Yeah.
you did? Okay.
But from scratch, we need more patience because the growing rate is very slow. And if the tree is too young, we can't train uphill. At least the thickness of the trunk is like this size,
Okay.
we can train.
Do you have a favorite tree that you like to work with?
Oh, obviously juniper.
I kind of wondered.
Yeah.
Are these all juniper?
Yes, I think so. This table, yes. And the table in the back, I have some Japanese holly with the.
So the juniper are the easiest to work with?
For me, yes.
Okay.
But junipers or pines are classified as evergreen because even in winter they maintain the green color, and that is the problem actually. Even they almost dead, still they maintain this color. It's been very tricky. And one of the easiest point to judge if the tree is healthy or not, we can touch the foliage, and the foliage is very soft or silky and flexible. It's healthy.
Is it a full-time occupation, like every day you have to touch every tree?
No, I don't have that time. Yeah. But every morning I watch almost every tree when I water those trees and look for my mental health before going to work.
If you had a pet in the house.
Oh yeah, we do. So they don't mind at all.
Are they gonna be are you taking them with you?
No, that is a great question. The regulation of the quarantine in Japan is very strict because Japan is an island country. So importing or exporting any animal or trees, even dead tree, is prohibited. So I can't bring my trees in Japan. So I need to say goodbye for all my trees. But actually that is a good thing because I can pass my artwork in the United States. If someone can take care of my tree, that is actually a good honor to me.
Some of your junipers don't have any bark in sections of it. It gives it a nice effect.
Oh,
Do you do that, or do you do something to create that?
Oh yes. This is called shari. That means dead wood in Japanese. And I peel bark intentionally. This white part is already dead.
Is it?
But I applied the preservation, some type of chemical. This stands for the dead part and also the contrast of the life. So I did it intentionally, this part, or this part. That is a very popular way, especially for junipers or pines. Okay, and now I think you can look around my bonsai trees, and if you have any questions, just let me know. We have 10 more minutes.
Thank you.
Yes.